Well, today is September 25th, and I'm doing a mini recording of La Estrella Ranch. What you see over here is a pad that we're going to have recut for a guest house. It's about 5 feet too high. And over here we have future ponds. We've got a bridge over here. And where you see that pile of rocks way off in the distance, I don't know if I can zoom in on it, we're going to build a waterfall in that area. So a big mountain's going to appear in that area someday. Okay. Behind us we have this wilderness area. There's about 80 acres there. There's a quartz mine back there, and there's supposed to be some gold too. One of these days we're going to go out and try and find that, but we'll have to talk to the owners of the property and see if we can search it out and find where this is. Today Bob is out here. We're raking up this, we have mulch around the house, but it's the fire season right now. So before we go on vacation, we thought it might not be a bad idea to clear this all up. I'm going to show you a little panorama on the house. We have a big ranch house with a white ranch porch all the way around the outside, which I really like. Okay. Give you another panorama. I'm going to walk down the driveway here. I know that if I turn the camera off and turn it on, it's going to become another clip. And I thought I would put this on YouTube. And if I make it a separate clip, it's going to be a separate movie. So anyway, I'll give you an idea of some of our trees around here. Oh, it is bright out here. Get over here out of the sunlight. Here, I'll slow down a bit. I think it's blurry when I'm walking. There's the house. And there's Bob working away. Okay. Keep this nice and slow so it don't make you dizzy. That's our jacaranda tree. I planted all the trees out here. Not all of them, but I'd say 95% of them. We have over 300 trees planted, or I've put in probably over 300. Over here, I'm walking over to the chicken area. These are our girls. So if I walk real fast, it won't take 3 days before I actually get to see them. Girls! And they are really friendly. When you call them, they'll come to you. I guess they like to be on camera too, because you'll see that they're starting to come in. Hi, girls! Hello! Girls! Oh, some of these look really bad. You look like you're this one right here is obviously, where are you? Oh, I lost you. Some of them, they got their feathers missing because they're molting. So they got some bald spots going on. But they'll look all pretty good by next month. They're kind of getting ready before winter, so they're going to lose all their feathers and get some new ones. Hi, girls. Hello. You want to smile for the camera? Huh? Come here. Come here. Yeah, some of you guys look pretty good, and some of you guys are pretty scruffy looking. Yeah. So get up here. This is our driveway into our property. It's really nice. It's 2-lane concrete. And the only reason that it's here is because at the time this house was built, it was kind of a project to make money for Calvary Chapel Church. So this guy named Rico Gomez, he worked for a housing tract, and he was a buyer. And what happened is every time they'd mess up on an order or somebody changed their mind and not want stuff, they would take the materials and they built this house with it. So this house is actually built out of all these scraps that people didn't want or messed up on. But anyway, the housing market fell apart a little bit and work slowed down. And in order for them to keep their crew, they basically poured this this concrete driveway at cost. And the guy that had the crew, he paid the labor on the crew, and then he basically, Rico only had to pay for the cost of the concrete, which was quite a steal. I wish he'd put more in, because this would have cost a lot of money. Okay, if I walk around the back of the house, you're going to see where I have a hoodia garden. So we'll just walk this way. And it looks like my tarp, you know, these things don't last forever. That was a brand new tarp last year, but I think it's time to buy another one. So we'll just probably throw it up there as a cushion and put another one right on top of it. So this is where we keep the chickens. Usually it doesn't have all this junk in it, but when we go and order chicks, we'll order like 50 of them. And the first month the chicks live in the house, and we have a little special cage for that. And then after that they move into there, and they'll stay in this cage over here for approximately 2-3 months. And when they get big enough, then we can move them into the other chicken coop, which is bigger for the girls. But you can't put little chickens and big chickens together because they'll eat the little babies. So they're not the nicest group to their own species. So this tree here is not dead, but what happens is sometimes we get the water turned on during the heat of the day, and what happens is these lines here, the hot water will get scalding hot, and it basically scalded that tree a little bit, and so it made the leaves burn. And they're coming back in. I'll get new leaves in a couple more weeks and start over again. Hopefully we can keep people from turning the lines on during the daytime. And in another month it won't matter because the temperature will drop. That's our bobcat, 80 horse. I think, yeah, that is 80 horse. So it pretty well can dig a hole anywhere, even though it's not the prettiest thing. It sure does work good. That's what we're going to be using too with our waterfalls and everything else. This is my golf cart, which I use like a little tractor. And I have a little harrow I pull behind it, and it takes down all the weeds around here. Now my garden is starting to die down, but in back here I have hoodia, and I've gathered quite a few seeds. I don't know how many seeds I have now, but I think I have well over 1 million seeds. So when we get done from our trip, I have to find a grower and see if he can get these seeds growing to about a 3-inch plant, and then we're going to start selling them. These are the pots that I just put in, and there's my herb garden, and I'm just setting it up. I just started this garden. This is the first year on it, so it's pretty rough, but it's going to be nice by next year. The soil I used was DG, and so I had to put a lot of fertilizer, horse manure, and other things, because DG is basically just decomposed granite, so it was pretty sterile soil. So by next year I should have it worked well enough that it'll produce well. We have the famous zucchinis that are basically I have to chase people down to give away to, because we have tons of them. There's my strawberry beds, and you put in more sprinklers on that because it has a tendency to it needs more water than the hoodia. So I need to move my hoodia, or I'll probably make it die because it can't take a lot of water. It's a succulent, which is, they don't like water, just a little bit. But anyway, that's my garden area that's coming. I had to put a little fence in it because the rabbits around here are pretty ferocious. They'll eat the bark off the trees, and they'll actually kill the trees. So when they're small, I have to put little fences around that until they get a little bigger. And these guys finally got big enough, you know, but there for a while they had to fight for their lives. These are our water tanks. They're 5,000 gallons apiece, and it's kind of nice because we need that much out here to water all these trees. We can water this whole property. Usually it just takes an hour a day of watering, but if I run those tanks for like 3 hours straight, I can drop all that water in one day. So I have to be careful. I can't run it too much, you know. So to give you an idea what I'm talking about here, though, if we didn't have trees and we used this just for the house, we could probably go 3 or 4 months with these tanks and not have to use any water. So if we have any problems, eventually I'd like to go solar, and then we wouldn't have to worry about that, because if our well ran, if we could get enough solar to do the well and the refrigeration, then I think we could survive on the rest.